family doesn't know me. I feel like I constantly have to convince them of who I am. And what sucks the most is that they've been the ones that have been around me my entire life. They're the ones that should know me the most. There should be no doubts about who I am to them, but it's like I get a strange look every time I talk to them, like they just can't quite understand. And I don't feel like I'm that hard to understand. I feel like I'm very well spoken in how I feel and how I perceive things. And I think it's just a matter of not being accepted. And it doesn't really hurt. It confuses me because I could never be in that position where I made my child feel that way. I mean, I don't have a child yet, but I'd like to think I wouldn't be like that. I would I would probably focus so much on them that they wouldn't have the chance to I wouldn't have the chance to misunderstand them, at least the whole of them. I mean, obviously there's misunderstandings and petty arguments that you're going to have with your children, but it's like beyond that. So I don't really have arguments with them because I don't really argue. I kind of already know how they perceive me, so what's there to argue about? And I've explained to them this exact feeling multiple times, so it doesn't make sense for me to argue anymore. If they know me, then they know me, and if they don't, then I'll kind of just leave it at that, because it takes too much of my energy to continue to try and convince somebody of who you are. It's something I think about a lot. I know they love me. But I'm not sure if they love me for me or if they love me because I'm their child. Or maybe they're just stuck in their own worlds so far that they can't see into the worlds of others. But I have that ability and I came from them, so I feel like they should have it too. They're much older than me, much more mature. It's weird how you become the mature one. You go your whole life listening to these people, respecting these people, doing what they say, loving them, caring about them. And when you grow up, you realize that they were kind of just as lost as you were. And instead of trying to discover themselves, they just they stick themselves in a cyclical loop of gratification, whether that be like going out to the bar and drinking or watching their mindless shows, or watching the news 24/7. Like, they live in these little worlds and they just do the same thing every single day because they're comfortable and they don't really self-improve. That we live in a day and age where there's so much there's so much information accessible at hand, literally in your hand, and there's just no pursuit of knowledge, at least in my experience. I'm sure there's parents out there that have that kind of motivation to keep learning and keep improving themselves, but I just don't see it in my environment and in the society and where I live. I just see a lot of people that get comfortable. They get their good paying jobs or their okay paying jobs, and they live comfortably without ever thinking about what they could do to improve themselves. And there's multiple facets of improvement, not just going to the gym, just improving yourself mentally or even spiritually. It's not a thing anymore. And I feel like in not too far ago was it probably a very big and real thing to self improve. It's like the adults of our day are children still. And now our generation has to grow up and raise them. So I don't let these feelings get me down, because there's definitely a positive way to look at it. Because if I can be self aware and be aware of their habits, then I could, in a loving way, kind of try to guide them out of it or guide them to a better understanding of themselves. Because I don't like, nobody wants to see their family members or their parents like be the same. Nobody wants that for their loved ones. I mean, truly, some people may not care well enough yet, but there will be a day where you care deeply about those around you, and you're not going to want to see them like constantly numbing themselves to the world, constantly sheltering themselves from the reality that we all experience, because it's just not healthy. I mean, I feel like the only people that should truly be able to experience life that way is children. Children should be the only ones, like innocent children, should be the only ones that make their own world and live in that world because they're kids. But when you're an adult, I feel like you have a responsibility for those you love and those that come after you to root yourself in reality and prepare yourself for reality and prepare your children when they're of age to be like have a good foundation in reality. And I didn't get any of that, and I feel like most kids my age didn't get any of that. And like, even when I've tried to get that information from them, because they've obviously been through their early 20s, been through college and those life steps, and it's like they don't have much information to offer. It's like they only know to like get a job and earn money and then spend that money on what you want, but there's no real progress. Like, I understand making money and paying for things is progress to them, and it is progress to me, but I feel like that's like only a small step in the whole of life. Like, there has to be more to life than getting a secure job and then surrounding yourselves with comfort. Because I don't know, for a plant may grow extremely well in comfort in a well sheltered and nutritious environment, but humans kind of stagnate in a comfortable place. And I just hate seeing my loved ones stagnate.